What is going on, everyone? Happy New Year to you all. New Year's Eve. Currently getting ready to do an unboxing here. Legendary Buckster. This is my brother's front end loader. He just purchased this recently. Just showed up in the mail, so getting ready to unbox it. Not much on the box as far as descriptions and things of that go. 14 plus on our age. Just says Legendary Buckster for the most part. www.legendary.com. The box is kind of neat here. Everything is kind of raised up, like cut out 3D. You can actually see these little indentations on the door. Those are raised up. You can feel those little indentations. So a pretty cool little design there in a box. Nice little rubber handle on the top of the box. Looking at the side, not much to see. Replacement parts available. www.legendary.com. Over on this half of the box, not much to see back here other than our legal information and stuff. Important, this product is not designed for children or minors younger than 14 years old. Responsible adult supervision is required during operation and maintenance. This is a high-performance model which is not intended for use on public roads or in congested areas where its operation may conflict with or disrupt pedestrian or vehicular traffic. Read all enclosed information before operating. This model should not be operated in a crowd, indoors, or without adequate space. This vehicle is fully assembled, ready to run. In effort to continually upgrade our products, Legendary reserves the rights to make improvements and modifications to this model, which may not be reflected in the photographs and specifications printed on the box. And we have that in several other languages down the line. Nothing on the back half of the box, just a picture of the loader itself and the radio unit here. Remote requires 4 AA batteries, not included. So let's get this baby open and see what she looks like. Since this is my brother's vehicle, we're going to have him open it up here. Go ahead there, Ian. Give him the honors of opening up his own vehicle here. That's a nice heavy wool coat you got on there, buddy.
Yeah, it is. Quite warm. Interesting design.
Cracking the lid here on the old RC Buckster. Well, I'll hold this box. You pull that out gently. Try to keep that foam together. I'll get this out of the way for you. Set that back down. Do we have any tape on the sides? It doesn't appear to be. Mind if I pull off the face cover?
Go for it.
Alright, let's see what we got going on in here, everyone.
We got a cool balance tape.
I'm sure we'll never use that.
Right.
Here is a look at our front end loader. A little bit smaller than what I was expecting here in all reality. Wondering about the tires too, whether they were hard or soft, and they're rubber but very, very stiff. It did include 2 batteries here, 2 LiPo batteries with a T-style or Dean style connector on them.
Nice.
That's nice. That's kind of the connector that I use most of the time. And they are 2S LiPos. 3C, whoa, low discharge rate on there, 2,000 milliamps, so that's a very slow discharge on our batteries there. Taking a peek at the remote unit here, still in the bag. I'll let my brother take that out of the bag there. Once again, his RC vehicle. As much as I'd like to have one, somebody's got to go first. So checking out the remote here, it has a rubberized texture to it. A rubberized feel to it, kind of a soft feel. The flat black. Looks like it's a 4-channel radio. Yep, trim buttons on either end. Well, let's see. The trim buttons on the bottom seem to be not functioning. So you got no trim buttons there, but our up and down do work. We have our sound button right there and a on-off switch for our lights. These other 2 are non-functioning. Ones up here on top seem to be non-functioning as well. Yeah, nothing going on there. That is just a decoration as far as I can see. So this is our only controls, up, down, left, right on both sticks, as well as having our sound button there and our light on-off switch. We might as well pull off our other battery here and get that out of the way. And we'll have him extract yonder vehicle. Give you a helping hand. I think it's got some weight to it.
Yeah, it does.
We'll get our case out of the way now. Oh, here we go. I know it was supposed to include some more stuff in the case, everybody. Looking at our RC Buckster here. Here's our charger down on the back half of the case. Right there. It actually gave you 2 battery chargers for those little batteries.
Oh wow, USB plug.
And it also came with some tire chains. And that is what this is right here. They give you enough tire chains just to do 2 back tires. It would be kind of cool if they gave you a set of all 4. But they do give you tire chains, which is pretty cool. The Hoyna excavator, Huna, does not come with tire chains, and neither does the top race, as far as I am aware. At least it doesn't say anything on the instructions or descriptions of the other 2 loaders. Looking at the vehicle, pretty nice. Metal bucket on the front. Seems pretty heavy duty as far as things go. Very similar to the Hoyna excavator. Looks like it's made out of the same material. That cast aluminum or magnesium or whatever that happens to be. Don't quote me on the material, but it's definitely cast. I'm not too sure on its functions as of yet, whether these are screw pins or screw servos moving in and out, or whether everything is gear driven or not. I know it's supposedly articulating. Wow, that thing is weighty. Definitely got some beef to it. Checking out the underside. I know it's an articulating loader. It does appear to have some, is that a stopper right there? Yeah, it's a little switch right there to limit your movement when you're articulating left to right. So that is your little kill switch right there, it appears to be. So when you're turning, it'll hit a stopping point, so it doesn't overload anything. So looking at the bottom, it appears to have some pretty decent ground clearance underneath it, really, for what it is for a front-end loader. I was expecting less. So not too bad on that area. Little bits of foam sticking to it here and there, some vent holes along the bottom there. Then coming around to the back here, all plastic back here. Not sure if it's a, it seems to be a locked up differential. Yeah, it seems to be a locked up differential. Here's our battery tray on the back, which also requires a Phillips screwdriver, having removed the screw for our battery compartment. Here's a peek at our battery compartment for it. DC 7.4 volt 2S LiPo with a T-style connector, Dean style plug on there. There's our little on-off switch right behind it, right here. Taking a look at the back, here is our LED taillights right back there, and some LED headlights right there. Alright everyone, let's get the battery charged up and plugged in here and see what this thing's all about. Got the battery in the vehicle all charged up and ready to go. I'm going to key it on here. The other keying on is remote. Shutting off our sound. Alright, our sound is off. Now the lights on the vehicle, let's turn the lights on. He has the lights keyed on currently. So let's try going forward and backward a little bit. So the lights are coming on when you're going forward and backwards. Along with the brake lights on the back are flashing in reverse and are solid while going forward, it looks like. Let's just hold it up in the air. Let's go forward. Solid going forward, flashing in reverse. Okay. So we got that covered. And now do they work when the lights come on when you move the bucket up and down? Let's try that. Alright, is that variable? Is that bucket variable?
Yeah.
Oh, that is nice. So that's variable up and down on the bucket. And that almost sounds like it's using this servo worm gear screw drives in here. So you can almost feel a vibration coming through them. Want it to full extension? Yeah, that seems like they're using the old servo worm gear screw drives there. So that's a pretty solid setup that they have going on there. Everything is metal along here, boys and girls. It's all metal. Even our little push pin on the front, bucket, that's metal. I got little side collars here. It might be plastic right there. But the pistons or the shafts themselves are metal. This is all metal. This is all plastic, of course, on the front of the machine. It's got all metal there. Metal cab, plastic windows, plastic exterior on the back, metal inserts for the foot plates there. All plastic up the side. metal wheels. Well, the same material that's made the bucket's made out of it apparently. So we got metal wheels on it. They're just articulating. Seems pretty strong. Has built-in stoppers for the articulation, so you can't overextend it. Now on the controls, it appears that forward, reverse, and left and right are all on the left stick. So we've got forward, reverse, left and right, all on the left stick there. So that's interesting. And then all the bucket controls are all right here. Pushing forward takes it down. Variable, so the more juice you give it, the faster it moves. And you can lift and curl at the same time, it appears. We can curl our bucket back, tilt our bucket out. Okay, you can do two at the same time. That's nice. Alright, let's take it out here in the gravel and see what we can do with it, see how it performs. There's our forward motion. And our backup beeper going in reverse. Let's grab that baby into the ground. Keep pushing. Oh, you got his tires off the ground. And what's going on there? The rear wheels aren't driving at that point in time?
Seemed like it.
You see that? It's kind of weird right there. The rear wheels quit driving. That's interesting. Now it said this thing can pick up 7 pounds. Alright, let's see if you can scoop up something with it. Go ahead here and get your tires dirty. Try pulling them up on it a little bit. That's really disappointing. Go ahead and scoop that baby up. Now it is able to pick up the gravel. Definitely strong enough to do that. But I'm a little concerned with the rear wheels, and I'm also hearing that you can hear a little bit of a struggle going on there, a little bit of a whine.
They're working.
It's working in reverse there. That was weird that the rear wheels were driving in reverse when he was trying to back up over the edge. I was noticing some kind of, it almost sounds like a brownout. So you hear a humming like a Here, let's lift it up here and hold the front tires. Hold the back tires, one of the tires. Try going forward.
Well, it's pulling, but
You hear the brownout? Try to get a nice big full bucket here. Not too bad, really. That's about as high up as we can lift it. That's what I'm talking about right there. As soon as you get your front wheels in the air, you're losing all your power to the back. And that's a problem if you want to try to drag things out or get a nice heavy bucket of material. Being a loader operator myself, I know that is very counterproductive right there. And that's not something that happens in the real world with a real loader. We are with our power divide on the front. All the power going to the back, so we have the front wheels in the air. We're not getting any drive out of them. But yeah, it kind of makes it a tough getting a good bite here in the gravel. But not too bad, really, all in all, for what it is. And it is variable control, so that's kind of cool. a little bit. Nice if you could cock the bucket like you can with a real loader. I think it gets having an issue. Definitely be or if it tilted a little bit further forward than it does tilting back. It definitely tilts back quite a bit. It's great for hauling material. Because the bucket sits so far back, no matter where you're at. But a little bit too far back at this position here. That's about where it should be sitting on a normal loader, right about there. So the bucket comes too far back this way and not far enough down that way. Once again, those motor on axles, back tires aren't driving too much right now. 3C battery that's in here. Doesn't give it much kick. And here's our parting shot on our Legendary Buckster final conclusions on our vehicle here. I did put our tire chains on it. I do have a video on how to do this as well. I just did a video on that, the whole little process there. So we'll get into seeing how those work. Differentials on the vehicle, once again, a little sketchy on those. Turns out it has MOAs on it, everyone. Motor on axle, front and rear, individual motors for the front and rear. So you can turn these independently of each other. You can turn them both in at the same time or both out at the same time, doesn't matter. Motor on axle. So they each have their own little motor, and they each have their own little built-in limited slip on the front end. And all my experience dealing with these cheap MOAs that are on these, it's not like an RC four-wheel drive rock crawler MOA. These are very cheap, and they have a little gear set up in here for the limited slip. And there's really not much you can do about it, unfortunately. So just gonna have to deal with it the way it is until it eventually gives out, and then we'll possibly do some serious rigging with some RC four-wheel drive solid MOA axles to put on here instead. As far as power goes, plenty of strength. Yes, these are screw-driven or worm gear-driven servos right here, all the way around on the vehicle. They do have these nice little chrome covers on it to cover up the worm gear and make it look like a hydraulic cylinder. So can see our servos right down there for our two main arms, and the other servo right there for our bucket tilt. Once again, all metal across the front of here. All these brackets are metal, the linkage is metal, our little push rod, connecting rod here is all metal, so this is all metal up front, nice and solid up there. Very powerful machine. Seen it pick up my TRX4 Bronco with the tracks on it, lifted it up as high as as high as it could go, really. Flipped the Bronco over. Lifted up my WL Toys 10428A hydroplane vehicle with the Traxxas VXL 3S brushless combo in it. Some Proline 2.8 Sandpaw tires on it, and a 3S LiPo inside it as well, so a little bit of weight there as well. Probably right around 6 pounds or so, maybe 7 pounds. It says it can pick up 7 pounds. Attempted to load that WL Toys 10428 on top of the Bronco, but we just couldn't lift it up high enough to get it on top of the roof basket of the Bronco. We did get that WL Toys loaded up into the back of the TF2 though, and it also had enough power to pick up the TF2 with the WL Toys in it and flip it over. So pretty strong all in all. And once again, had it out in the snow for a few minutes messing around with it. Pretty fun all in all. I can't wait to get it out onto the track in the summertime, out onto our adventure course. Other things I'd like to point out just before we go here are two trim buttons here on our radio. These two guys right here. Only thing that those control are our two lower cylinders. That is what they are for. Get the other side. So that's all they really control, are those two right there. Whether that affects how far up it can go or not, I'm not too sure. Bucket definitely tilts back nice and far. So that's all these guys do right there, is adjust your trim for our left and right lower cylinders there. Alright, before we get ready to go here, everybody, I had to make a quick adjustment to the old Laegendary Buckster. This should work on a Huina front-end loader as well. Now, whenever you're operating a front-end loader, bucket positioning and things of that nature, most of the time, the bucket never comes back far enough to make contact with this arm. And that's exactly what this one was doing. It was coming back so far that we were making contact with this arm. Couple drawbacks of that. The bucket comes back that far, you're spilling material back onto your machine. Not very economical all the way around. And it doesn't allow you to rotate the bucket far enough forward to actually dump material out. That was about our limit previously on how far we could dump our bucket. And here's our new limit on how far we can dump our bucket. So basically what I did, everybody, is I came in here and just made a new link. That last link going to the bucket there. I replaced it and made my own adjustable link in there. Right here. Now there's a fine line, boys and girls, between having too much drop and not enough drop. Let me explain that to you. You can make it so the bucket's hanging just like this when it's all the way up in the air. Only problem with that is when you're going to scoop into your material, if you're coming up to a pile and you get a nice bucket load of material and you want to roll the bucket back to scoop it up, it's just not going to roll back as far. And that's as much as we can roll it back right now. Which isn't too bad because you can make up for it on your upstroke. Filling up the material as you drag your bucket up the face of a pile. Once again, there's our full rollback right there, so it won't go back any further. You can adjust it so it's sitting right here on full rollback. But at that point in time, you just can't get as much of a scoop when you're rolling it back on the ground level. And when you have it adjusted there and you go to dump it, it will be straight up and down vertical right here. So yeah, you can adjust it so you're vertical right here, but then you're not going to be able to get as much of a scoop on ground level. So a little bit of pros and cons with having too much dumping angle and not enough curl angle. So a little bit of adjustment that needs to be made here for your style and your liking and however you like to operate your machine. Currently right now with this setup, It should be pretty good for loading up trucks and scooping dirt off the ground. Not quite as good for hauling dirt in the bucket at a low level without worrying about spilling your bucket. As you can see right there, that's our max angle right there for tilting our bucket back with the bucket that low to the ground. Right about here, we got a nice full bucket, but it's kind of high in the air for a real loader, it would be. But at least up here at the top, we're not touching our arm back here and spilling all the material onto the cab of the vehicle. And it gives us a nice positive dumping angle as well. So there is our first upgrade that we have made to the Laegendary Buckster. Replacing our upper link with an adjustable link. That way we can mess around with our dump angles there and get it right where we wanted to have it sitting. And finally, a little size comparison between the Hoina 1550 550 excavator, slightly modified, versus the Laegendary Buckster. Laegendary Buckster quite a bit larger than the excavator scale-wise. The Buckster is definitely making the excavator look rather small. I believe a Hoina 1592 or 1593 might be more along the scale lines as far as matching scale goes between these two vehicles. And there you have it, boys and girls. There is the Laegendary Buckster. Not bad machine all in all. Definitely don't care for those MOA axles at the moment. But once again, can't wait to get this thing out onto the adventure course and see how it works out there in the summertime for a little bit of construction use. So that's going to do it for now. As always, questions and comments are always welcome, and we'll see you all on the next video. Happy New Year.